Hello world. Actually, special shout out to the USA.
USA.
And the reason we say the USA, because of course we're here in the United States of America, and today our topic of the agenda, well, I don't even know where to start. No, let me stop. But what it is we're going to actually discuss, what's going on in this country and over the last few weeks actually, as we're getting ready to rock that vote.
Oh, yes, rock that vote.
Yes. We've had a couple conventions. We had the Democratic National Convention, and yes, we've had the Republican National Convention. Yes, I said it that way because it was dull and boring.
Lame.
Very. So, here it is. The reason, we were all optimistic saying Democratic National Convention, because we're Team Biden.
Team Biden.
And Team Harris. And Team Us 2K.
Yes.
So Team Us 2K, right? We stand with Biden and Harris.
Yes.
We need them in the White House. Okay? ASAP. Honestly, if I could vote 10 times, I would. Right? At least.
Yes.
Maybe more than that. But anyways, we're going to really start talking about a little bit more about is the specifics that would have happened and what the common underlying themes were. Highlights such as, from the Democratic National Convention.
Yes.
So, one thing we did notice, and again, usually I'm very nice and we talk about, everybody equally, but right now it's not, being reciprocated, like the Democratic Party's being bashed and a lot of untruths are being told and all these things. So, you know what? We got their back.
Yeah, you sure enough do.
Okay? So, anyways, Democratic Party, right now I see that, the common theme that everyone has, not just Biden and Harris, but whether it's Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, everybody, right? They're focused on uniting America as opposed to dividing the country, right? As the current president is doing, has done, and that's his hobby. He wants to divide the country and, basically have people, whether it's rich versus poor, different ethnicity or races against each other, or, all this hate that he's spreading is unnecessary. So we don't need that.
As Biden says, fueling the flames.
Yeah, fueling the flames. Who does that? Let's put the fire out, at this point, it's just unnecessary. It's unproductive. It's just not going anywhere. What we need, like I said, is unity. We also need to, stand together and support each other. For us, like I said, I'm not anti-Republicans. I like everybody. But the issue is, if we have a Republican leader that's basically brainwashing people or bashing people, being super inappropriate, and something that's never happened in the history of the presidency, that's a problem.
Yes, and that's not a leader at all.
No.
Someone who's going to really lead the country.
Yes. It's just sad. For example, our presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, he's looking to do a lot of good things. We've heard a lot of people lead up to, before he was actually speaking and what he said. And, again, we kind of know a little bit about Joe Biden's mentality from his prior years with President Obama. And plus, he's been into politics for almost 50 years. So he's nobody's spring chicken. He has experience. He's ready to lead and take on this nation, okay?
That's what we need.
Yes. Like one of the big things, which you've heard us probably talk on numerous videos, is the whole coronavirus pandemic. Oh, my goodness. Right?
It's gotten way out of hand, and we need someone who can definitely take this by the horns and lead this country in the right direction.
Yes, we want someone that's going to be able to control the spread of COVID-19, definitely including the whole fact of improving healthcare, affordable healthcare across, the world. I should say the country as in the world, but basically universal so that, it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, everybody has access, equitable healthcare. And it's not these disparities where, these people who live in these poor neighborhoods aren't getting access and they can't get testing and all that. Not only the rich get tests. No. We all need to get tested. And if you haven't gotten tested, you need to go get your test.
Get it.
Get
your test.
Because all of us at this point, at any point, don't know if we are carriers. We may be asymptomatic. We may feel great. That don't mean nothing. Okay? We have elderly parents and grandparents and anyone with a compromised immune system, as a matter of fact, for that matter, hell, anybody.
Yeah,
even little kids have passed away or gotten sick. Anybody. Pets. I heard something about a lion and a dog, okay? Yeah. So everybody at this point, is a suspect until you get your test.
Yes.
So we recommend that. That was just a little aside, but this is all about, trying to promote, since somebody else is not doing it, promote wellness and, again, trying to control the spread. Wear those masks. We've told you that time and time again. We don't have a mask on at this point because at this point, we're here and we've been quarantined and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But definitely the masks, wash those hands, sanitize, all that good stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Washy.
Yes, some people wear gloves, that's good too. Anything you can to slow the spread. No big parties, y'all.
Yes.
We understand, it's nice out, it's summertime. A lot of places, don't get nice weather year long. We understand that. But, you have to take social responsibility and be the bigger person and say, you know what, this is whack. I want this to be over with like yesterday. If I keep, like you said, feeling the flame and making it worse, this might be the next 5 years, y'all. Who wants to have the new normal for the next 5 years? Not me.
Not at all.
Okay, so we can't have that. We just can't. So definitely think twice, about your behaviors and, look out for your other fellow Americans or other people worldwide. If you travel, again, limit it, don't rush out to the hot spot to the next party. Like, it's not worth it.
No.
And just try to stay safe. But yeah,
we want to go back to the old normal, not this new normal.
Yeah, for real. So that's what, we need someone that's going to, grab that, like you said, the bull by the horns and really reel that in and get that underway to slow that spread. And hopefully we can get that vaccine. That's going to help. But separate than the vaccine, this whole pandemic would never have gotten out of hand if the right leader was in place. Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Another goal that the Democratic Party and our candidate Joe Biden wants to work on is dismantling the systemic racism and injustice that exists. You know what I'm saying? And this includes police brutality and abuse of power. Now, as we bring, we're here at it again. First, it was obviously George Floyd in more recent times. And there's a whole bunch of others. But George Floyd was the big talk of the town, the last few months ago. Okay? Now, we have poor Mr. Jacob Blake. He was going to his car. Who does it? Who shoots somebody and they're not, with a weapon or any type of threat 7 times in the back in front of the children? Who does that?
Yeah, kids in the car.
Kids, young minor babies in the car. They're going to be traumatized. I'm traumatized just hearing this. And let alone the poor gentleman. I mean, he's now probably what they say paralyzed. It'll be a miracle if he walks.
Yeah, from the waist down.
Yeah, and he may not walk again. I mean, that's unfair. Like, one's life can change just like that for no reason. And then Trump's talking this crap about, law and order, let's restore order. Excuse me? Wait. No, we got to restore the order, no doubt. We need no chaos. As a matter of fact, restoring the order would be getting rid of him.
Yeah, that's
what we need. You're right. So he's got something right there restoring the order, but not in the way he's talking, okay? The bottom line is that we all need to work together, and like I said, this violence is not necessary. Like people say, the looting and the anger. I know. We don't need that. But you know what? People are sick and tired of being sick and tired, fed up, mad, angry, all of that. So guess what? We have the same old nonsense, this brutality that's not ending. People are mad. I'm mad.
Yeah.
You mad?
I'm mad.
I mean, we can't have this. What are we sending these messages for our kids? Like, kids are terrified. Like, oh my God, I hope my parent doesn't get shot if you're like brown or black. Excuse me? Or any color. I mean, no one deserves to be abused by the police. The police are supposed to be our friends. They're supposed to protect. Keyword, protect us. Not kill us. Not shoot us. Not harass us. Okay? Clearly, if someone's doing a criminal activity, yes, justice needs to be served. I mean, no one should be getting off the hook. But there's been plenty of people, that have gotten away with murder. Literally, they walk. They walk, or they get like a little slap on the wrist or something very low key. They don't walk out being shot.
Yeah, definitely have to, redefine our whole judicial system.
Something.
Make sure stuff like this doesn't keep happening. And if that includes taking a look at all these police departments and how they engage criminals, so be it. But
yeah. And no one's talking about defunding the police. We need the police, but we need the police to do their job. And their job is not to kill people. If, like I said, if someone's a threat, clearly, I don't know what they train these days in the police academies, but I'm thinking they still have the good, training they had back in the day. It's just people abusing their power. Just because you're a cop, you're not above the law, honey. Everybody is to be held responsible. So if you do a crime, you're just as guilty as who you thought did a crime or whoever else really did a crime. You're no different. You deserve jail time and everything else, okay? So, yes, we've got to definitely stop that brutality, and even back to the systemic racism. Again, not sitting there racial profiling or either trying to target people and, basically mistreat them conveniently, indirectly, or think that somebody's not noticing in these institutions. People see things. People are more woke than people think. Sometimes people might not quite say something. I mean, just like we had, Juneteenth and all these things that came about. that should have been celebrated. And I'm hoping it'll be a national holiday at some point because it's very important. It's a part of our history, not something else like from, outer space. No, this is something that happened in America. And like I was saying before, like a lot of people may be like, oh, well, it doesn't really pertain to me. Excuse me? First of all, who's going to complain about a day off from work?
Yeah.
Not many people. We have all types of holidays that may not pertain to all of us. But guess what? We need to respect others. That's the whole point. Diversity.
Yes, diversity. And this should have been the holiday that's been in existence for years.
Yeah, it's definitely, so I'm happy and shout out and kudos to those agencies and organizations that definitely implemented this year. We see you, Nike. We see you, a lot of other people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Congrats. and also just quickly a little shout out to all those sports teams that are at this point boycotting, whether it's the NBA, baseball, hockey.
Yes.
Everyone taking a stance taking a knee to be anti-police brutality. That should send a message. People, like I said, are sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, it's getting old now.
It's bad. It's old. It's played like it's dumb. It should be over with already. Like this is something that shouldn't even been happening. We're still going there. Like I said, people saw the George Floyd. Well, we've had a few since then. I mean, we had the gentleman in Atlanta. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, this keeps going.
And it's ridiculous. It needs to stop. Period. Okay, next. Let's talk about something else relevant that the Democratic Party nominee Joe Biden wants to work on and believes is real, and it's super real, is climate change. Y'all, if you don't believe climate change, that Hurricane Laura that just came through, that was not no joke. I'm sorry to hear for any loss, in Louisiana and the people of Texas and everyone who, had this devastation. I'm hoping things, improve and get back to what can be seen as somewhat normal as soon as possible. But we have these, really a category 4, who has that in Louisiana? In the Gulf? The Gulf of Mexico has hurricanes like that?
And these storms gotten just worse and worse like every year.
Exactly. They're getting more strong. The potential for all these different fires we see in California. Things you're hearing like, oh my God, this is the biggest or the largest or the strongest. These aren't good things. Those words are good when it comes to like certain things, but definitely not devastation. Oh no, we can't have it. Climate change is real, people. We need to definitely start lessening the impact. Go green.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go green.
We need to, like you said before, work on, getting these electric vehicles in place. All these things that can, cut down on the emission of carbon or any type of, things into the environment that are messing up our ozone layer. Guys, remember we talked about the ozone layer back in the day? They used to be, in the 80s and, we're talking about we don't want to deplete this and the greenhouse effect and all that. That didn't go away. It's gotten worse, y'all.
No aerosol spray.
Remember that? No hairspray and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is the bottom line is, the Amazon was burning, Australia, all these fires. It's not an accident. And like I said, this is not just a U.S. problem. This is worldwide, right? Worldwide. Global. But we're talking about USA today. Because yes, we live here and we're on the USA. Because that's who we're judging most, okay? We love this country. We want to see it thrive. That's it, Move on to the next thing I'm thinking about, right? Joe Biden definitely, and oh my God, it's very critical that we work on restoring America's image as a reputable world leader. Before we were seen as a superpower with, up and up with the cutting edge, whether it's technology and all the good things that have happened. We were always seen as an amicable ally. There's always been the old school Russia, Cold War stuff. That's that, and the communism. That's one thing. Now we have people looking at us sideways. Canada, like what? Mexico, they were always our friends. You got somebody talking about build a wall, really? Yeah. You pay for it, dude, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and it didn't.
Exactly. It won't happen. Mr. Biden would never think of such a thing. Who says that? We're not even trying to do some back in the day, the Berlin Wall in Germany. Come on, y'all. That's over. Yeah. Stop. Yes, we understand everyone can't be in the U.S. at once, just like anything else. You're at capacity, especially now with the social distancing and the with the coronavirus, of course. But the thing is, don't mistreat someone who's trying to get a better life here. Think about it. Maybe you would do the same. If there was a land of opportunity, you had heard that this was the case, you might say, let me try to go to that country. So, don't, as they say, don't shoot the messenger, don't shoot the person who's trying to do the right thing. Those who are not, of course, that's why they get treated accordingly. That's a whole different story. Like, obviously, if someone's coming here illegally, and they're doing some criminal activity, they will have justice served, just like whether they lived here or not. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So that's, a whole nother story. But people who are innocent or young children, like, thank God we had Doc and all these great people who have come here, they've made this country a better place. Whether the Republicans or Trump or whoever sees it or not. I mean, when it was convenient, he loved the immigrants to work for cheap labor.
Oh, yeah.
Right or wrong?
At the Trump hotels in
Please.
Atlantic City.
That's what he does. When it's convenient, he's a out of convenience person, period. He's not someone that, is optimistic and fair and kind. He's basically a user when it's convenient.
Yeah, definitely agree. I've known about him for years, and that's why I'm still, to this day, I'm surprised that he's even elected president, considering all the risky business he's done in the past.
A lot of corruption.
And the fact that most of his hotels in Atlantic City went bankrupt.
So the list goes on. But yeah, and even in present times, anything he touches falls apart. Any of the people that he's associated with, like all those ones who went down pretty much, I'm not going to even get into specific names, you know who I'm talking about? Once again, they're all corrupt. Guess what? He is too. He just got lucky. But hopefully justice will be served in his case as well, because, you can't get away with murder, literally, and just walk or float along like you're above the law and come up with these policies that are unprecedented. They're not even legal. You can't do that stuff. And where are your taxes at, dude? All right, let me stop.
Yeah, well, that's a whole separate.
It is.
We can do a whole complete thing just on him alone.
I know, but we're not going to do it. You know what? We don't want to stoop down to his level, but the truth is, guys, the bottom line is there's all these issues we've discussed are definitely real, and we want you to get out there and vote. You know why? It's your right.
Yes, it's your right, and without that, it's your voice. There's a chance to use your voice
to make a difference. Because check it out, many people have died or fought, whether it was people of color back in the day, women who couldn't vote, all these things that did not exist. Like, people just couldn't vote. And the struggle, and then you just sit there and say, it's just another day. No, it's not, because then you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't vote because, whatever your citizenship is, that's understandable. No one's judging you. We understand that, because there's people, that's an example, right? A lot of people who have come here would love to vote, but they can't. And just like even age-wise, you have to be 18. So I'm sure there's some 17-year-olds who are like, damn, I'd love to vote, but I can't. I was one of those.
Yeah.
And
I was at that age.
And I was like, I just missed it back in the day. But now you can't catch me missing a vote. I'm out there to primaries. And that's the other thing, guys. Check your states and see what other elections are going on, like the primary. A lot of senators are up, trying to get into Congress, all types of things. So stay tuned. I'm not huge on politics, but you got to stay informed. In these days and times, you need to be woke.
Look at your candidates and
do your homework. Yes, go ahead.
Make sure you're choosing the right one that's going to represent, your values, your state. Who's going to represent your state well.
Absolutely, that's what you want, and you definitely want someone who's going to be strong, with a strong character, that's ready to go to Congress and lobby and fight for you, and say, hey, no, we need to do this and make change, positive change, not no war or no chaos. Like I guess I'm going to say our idol, which he was the best ever, rest in peace, Mr. John Lewis. Good trouble. You want to get that good trouble going. Because you know what? Good trouble don't hurt nobody. Good trouble, good things come out of good trouble. You have to, again, advocacy. You have to do all these things to make the world a better place, make your country a better place. The USA, you have, I just don't even, I'm speechless, but no, it has a lot to be fixed here, guys. I'm like almost embarrassed just because, but yeah, this country needs some work, needs some help.
Yeah, needs some help, and we get the right person in office to help us with that work.
Yes, we have definitely a dynamic duo that's ready to hit that ground running. They've got all types of brilliant plans in place, period. So we definitely are Team Biden, Team Harris. We want you all in the office yesterday.
Yes, so we're ready for you guys.
People, rock that vote.
Yes, go out, vote. You know what to do.
Yes, and the other thing is just, with this coronavirus, things may be a little tricky. So starting time, either get your, pay attention to dates, right? Get your online ballot in on time. Whatever you have to do, request it, get that turned in on time. If you don't feel safe to go in person, and if you do go in person, you know what? Honestly, and I'm not doing it. Don't wait till the 3rd of November. You go early. If your state offers that early voting, that's highly encouraged. Because that's a way to definitely lessen, being in a big old line or with these crowds. Especially in these days, you don't want to be in a crowd. Mm-hmm. So, just kind of, look at things, weigh your options, but definitely you have to vote. Voting is beyond an emergency at this point. Because at this point, this country is in a state of emergency. Agree?
Yeah, definitely agree. And we need Biden, Harris in the office. And
Yes.
we need everyone here to go out and vote and make sure they're in there so we can turn this country around.
We do. We need some help. We need to turn this country around as soon as possible because we can't continue with another 4 years of what's going on right now. Honestly, this country may be non-existent after another year if this continues going on. I'm very concerned. I was trying to figure out how to go to Canada at this point. I mean, that's why I'm like, yeah, take it easy on the immigrants and people, because I'm looking for a better life. If things don't go the right way come November, Canada, I see you.
Yeah.
Toronto, you see me? I see you. But anyways, all jokes aside, I have to make it a little fun because otherwise we'll be going crazy and stressed and all that. 'Cause everybody's definitely vexed and, very, on edge based on this coronavirus alone and just different things that are going on. But people, we definitely are here for you.
Yeah.
Biden, Harris, you guys have our support 100%. If you need any campaigning from us, anything, holla at me.
Yeah.
Please, let us know. We love you guys. We want you in that White House. I can't even explain how much. It's just... Oh,
it's a necessity at this point.
It's a necessity, an emergency. We need it bad. We need change. Change, positive change, everyone. So with that said, I guess, people, like I said, go vote. Yes. And, always you can hit us up if you have any questions, concerns, right?
Yeah.
TeamUs2K.com.
We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook, Instagram. You name it, we're there. We also
YouTube, right?
YouTube.
Check our videos out on YouTube. You're watching it now, right?
So
Definitely.
hit that like, subscribe.
Yes.
And
stay tuned for more from Team Us 2K. But we're always here, to discuss the current events and keep it real. That's what we do, all right?
Yeah. So from TeamUs2K.com, we're out.
We're out.